Welcome back, boys and girls. Today we're going to be comparing numbers. I'm going to be rolling my dice up here on my board, and together we're going to be writing them into these boxes to compare them, whether they are greater than, less than, or equal to. So I'm going to start with a couple 3-digit numbers, so going to the hundredths place, and then we're going to move on to a couple bigger numbers, getting into the thousands place. So let's go ahead and start with rolling these dice. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at that. So we have 332. We're going to write this number in our first box, so go ahead and do that along with me. 332. Now let's go back to our dice. We're going to generate our second number here. Ready? Say big money, no whammies. Stop. 356. So go ahead and write that number with me on your second box over here. 356. Now, let's compare these numbers. Let's start in our hundreds place. In our hundreds place, we have the number 3. And in our second number in our hundreds place, we have the number 3. Those are the same value in the hundreds place. So now we need to move on to our next place value to determine whether it's greater than or less than. In our first number, our second place value digit is a 3. So we have 3 tens. In our second number over here, we have a 5 in the tens place value. So which one, 3 or 5, is greater than? Right. The number 5 is greater than the number 3. So what we are going to do is make that alligator eat that bigger number. So go ahead and draw an alligator mouth open towards that second number. And if you want, you can draw those alligator teeth in there. And I want you to listen as I read this out loud, and then you're going to read it with me. 332 is less than 356. Read that with me. 332 is less than 356. Awesome job. Go ahead and erase your board. We're going to do one more 3-digit number, and then we'll move on to the thousands place value. All right, are you ready? Say, roll that dice. 1, 2, 3. 634. Let's write that in our first box over here. What was that number again? 634. You got that number in your first box? Let's go ahead and roll our dice up here for our second number. Ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3. 446. So again, let's write this number in our second box over here. Read it with me. 446. Great job. Now here comes the hard part. We have to compare these two numbers. Where do we start when we want to decide which number is greater than? Yes, we start in our hundreds place. This is got the biggest value, and so when we compare these hundred place values, we can determine which one is greater than or less than very quickly. So as you can see, in our first number, I have the number 6. And in our second number, I have the number 4. So is 600s greater than 4, less than 4, or are they equal? Right, 6 is greater than 4. So we are going to use that alligator mouth, open up and eat that first number. And again, and we read this number as 634 is greater than 446. Read it with me. 634 is greater than 446. All right, boys and girls, now we're going to move on to 4-digit numbers. So we're moving on into our thousands place. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to roll each one of our dice, and each one of these dice represents a place value. This is going to be our thousands place, our hundreds place, our tens place, and our ones place. So let's get started. Say, roll that dice. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, All right. So, as you can see, I have a 5 in the thousands place, a 1 in the hundreds place, a 2 in the tens place, and a 5 in the ones place. So we're going to write this first number in our first box. Say it with me. 5,000, comma, 125. All right, let's generate our second number over here. Big money, no whammies. Stop. All right, our second number, we have a 6 in the thousands place, a 3 in the hundreds place, a 2 in the tens place, and a 5 in the ones place. Let's go ahead and write that number over here in our second box. 6,000, comma, 325. So, just like we did with our 3-digit number, we are going to do the same thing for our 4-digit numbers. We're going to start with the greatest value, and so that is going to be in our thousands place. In our first number, we have the number 5 in our thousands place. In our second number, we have the number 6 in our thousands place. Is 5 greater than 6, less than 6, or equal to 6? You got it. 5 is less than 6. So which number does the alligator want to eat? Did you say this one? You're right. 5 is less than 6. So the alligator is going to want to eat this bigger number here. Go ahead and draw your alligator mouth. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to read this number together. 5,125 is less than 6,325. Read that with me. 5,125 is less than 6,325. Erase your board. We're going to do 2 more 4-digit numbers together. Are you ready? All right, let's roll these dice. You can touch them on your screen too if you want. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. What does this number read? You got it. 6,000. Don't forget your comma. 521. All right, go ahead and tap on those dice. Roll them with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What does this number read? You write again. 5,000, comma, 414. All right, so we're going to start in our greatest place value, which is the thousands place. We have a 6 and a 5. Is 6 greater than, less than, or equal to 5? 6 is greater than 5. So the alligator is going to want to eat this number. Go ahead and draw your alligator mouth to the first number. And I'm going to read this out loud, and then you're going to read it with me. 6,521 is greater than 5,414. Read it with me. 6,521 is greater than 5,414. Are you ready for one more? All right, go ahead and erase your board. Let's roll these dice together. Are you ready? Touch your screens with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What does this number read? You got it. 5,251. Write that on your first box. I'll write it with you. 5,000. Did you put your comma? 251. Let's roll our dice one more time to get our second number over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What does this number read? That's right. 1,000. Don't forget your comma. 563. Which place value do I need to look at in order to determine which number is greater than? You got it, our thousands place. So over here I have a 5 in the thousands place and a 1 in the thousands place. Is 5 greater than, less than, or equal to 1? Right, 5 is greater than 1. So this alligator is going to open his mouth and he's going to eat that bigger number. Awesome job, boys and girls.